guys, April here from Traveling Our Beautiful Earth. I know it's been quite a while since I've made some footage on that channel. I have done some traveling, I just haven't been really posting, but we did do some other stuff on CJ Morris's YouTube channel about our new 1961 Avion camper that we bought. And we completely renovated it. Well, I'd say 90% renovated it. And if you want to check that out, you can check that out on his channel. But I am here to talk about being 40 and being almost 21 weeks pregnant, which I will be 21 weeks tomorrow. Okay, so I just wanted to show my baby bump at 20 weeks and 6 days. This is Soul Regina. And this is our kind of unique story about a pregnancy. It's not a typical one. So I wanted to share it kind of for you guys, anybody who wants to listen, and for us just to remember the story, because there's a lot of details involved. It's a very abstract story. So me and CJ were in the process of selling this home that I'm sitting in right now, because we had made the decision that we were going to buy this old vintage camper and kind of redo it and live in it for a while, maybe for a long while. Our goal was to go down south to North Carolina. We wanted to build our own hip camp eventually. For those of you who don't know what hip camp is, hip camp's basically like a campground, Airbnb style. So you can go, and as long as it's legal for you to have campsites, you buy land. You can do tent camping, unique camping, like maybe a log cabin or a covered wagon, or literally anything you want to do, and you can rent it out for as much as you want per night, and you get guests, and that's how you can make money. So that was our plan. We went down south. It was kind of towards the end of the summer, and we found a temporary place to live because we wanted to take our time finding the land. We didn't want to jump into anything. So we were going to sell this place and use the money to buy our land. We had already paid for our camper and the renovation, so this money could 100% go to the land. So we found this really cool property, like right by Bryson City, North Carolina. If you guys don't know what that is, check it out. It's an awesome, adorable little city right in the entrance to the Great Smoky Mountains National Forest. And we got like a really good deal on this farm with like chickens. We were gonna have full hookups, and we were gonna stay there while we searched for land and probably kind of do something part-time just to make some cash. So we had that all set up, and this house was in the process of being sold. We met this really nice family who were going to help their daughter get this house, and they had already given us a down payment. And at this point, we were really worn out. We had been working on the camper every free second we could get, on top of working full-time, on top of trying to sell this house. And we were both physically and mentally exhausted. And so we were kind of like, needed a break. Because I said, as soon as we go down south, we're eventually, I'm going to have to look for a job. CJ was going to do some online work, but I was immediately going to have to look for a job. We were going to be living a whole different lifestyle in a tiny little place. And I said, as much as it's going to be fun, it's going to be more stress, and we need to decompress. Okay, now pause that story for a moment. And as far as having children in our lives was not anything either of us really wanted. I thought that eventually, once I got settled, I would love the idea of like fostering or adopting maybe an older child. I don't have anything against kids, like I like them, but we are kind of a traveling lifestyle, and neither one of us have a ton of money, and we wanted to continue traveling. And then when we kind of settled down somewhere, we thought like maybe we could do some adoption or fostering. But having a baby at especially at my age, I'm very regimented on my sleep and what I do and where I go. It was not a thought that anything that was on our mind or our radar. So anyways, so here we are, we're getting ready to move. I think we were going to move in like a month and a half, maybe. I'm like, all right, I need a break. CJ just got his passport. never traveled outside the country. I'm like, let's go to Mexico. We'll just take a cheap vacation. We can take some of that money that we got for the down payment and just enjoy it and relax and just enjoy our lives before we move on to our next chapter. So we booked a trip. We stayed in Cancun for a night. We stayed in Isla Halbash for a few nights, which was amazing. And then we stayed in Isla Mujeres. No, not Isla Mujeres. Where were we?
Puerto Morelos.
Puerto Morelos. I don't even know. Because by the time I got to Puerto Morelos, it was all kind of a blur, to be quite honest. If I'm going back there again, definitely Isla Halbash. Probably not Cancun. Puerto Morelos, yeah, I'd go there again. So anyway, so the night before, we ended up staying up all night because we forgot to bring our masks. And it was like this whole big thing. So we only got maybe 2-3 hours of sleep. And we get to Mexico, and then we had to take a bus from Cancun to some other port. I can't think of the name of it. But it's the port that takes you over to Isla Halbash. It was a cute little city. But all was well. And I remember when we got there, I was like, hadn't really ate much. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get some salad. And the salad did not taste good. And then we got on a, 3.5-4 hour bus ride. And that's when I started getting really, really nauseous. It was probably the worst driving experience, vacation experience moment ever. Like, I was pouring sweat, and I luckily did not get sick because the bathroom was like an RV bathroom, and you had to literally hold on to bars so you don't fall over. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. And, with COVID, I'm sitting there, my face is turning red. I'm fanning myself. People are probably getting freaked out even being next to me on this bus. And that was my first experience being sick. We had an amazing vacation, and it wasn't until the day before it was time to leave that I started feeling sick again. But this time it wasn't like a little sick, it was a lot of sick. Now keep in mind, I knew I was late for my period, but I honestly thought it was like the stress or possibly early menopause. Me and CJ, we were being careful, we were using protection. Pregnancy was not on the radar. However, when I started getting sick and I was, 3 weeks late for my period, it kept popping into my head, but I didn't want to believe it because I'm just like, there's no way, like, this is horrible, horrible timing. So I started getting sick. I actually was sick most of the day. I was throwing up. I couldn't even leave the hotel room. So me and CJ made the decision, to go to the pharmacy. And although I do speak some Spanish, I didn't know the Spanish I needed for this pharmacy adventure. So we brought Google Translate and got a pregnancy test. I already knew at this point, I'm like, there's no way. I had been tired, I had been sick. There's no way I'm not pregnant. And I knew this was just going to verify it. So we brought it home to our hotel room anyway. And I waited a good hour to take it because I was just like scared to take it. As soon as I started peeing on that little thing, the 2 lines showed up within 5 seconds that said I was pregnant. And of course I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. So I was like Google searching what that meant. And everyone's like, yeah, you're pregnant, you're pregnant, you're pregnant. My first initial reaction to this news was being terrified. Poor me and CJ were sitting in this hotel room just like freaking out and crying. Like, what do we do? Like, I just literally took a down payment on my house. I was going to go live in a camper, basically be homeless and jobless until I could find a job. And here I am so sick, I couldn't even get out of bed. And realizing that those dreams, they might have to be put on hold, and not really knowing what to do or even how to put those dreams on hold, because I had put in an official written notice at my work too, like right before I left on vacation. And I have a good job with a 401k and health insurance, and I literally just gave it away, and here I am in this situation. I didn't leave the hotel room basically for the rest of the day. I left to get anti-nausea medicine. That was it. I was so sick. And then the next day we had to get up, and thank God I was feeling better enough to move because I was so dizzy that we had to go get our COVID test and get ready to go on the plane and fly on home. At this point, I think I had already called my parents and my best friends and kind of told them what was going on, so people knew before we got home. Yeah, and so I spent the next, several months, maybe 3 months, at least 2.5, being crazy sick. So I got home and I said, you know what, there is no way I am getting in that van driving across the country to who knows what surprise being this sick. Like I had days where when I just sat up, my head would start spinning and I would throw up. And that went on for quite a while. So there's no way I could have, no health insurance, no nothing. So I just called the lady and told her, look, I can't move. I can give you guys your down payment back. I'm really sorry. And luckily she was super nice and understanding. It was like, I totally understand. You guys need to do what's best for you. And I texted my head boss and told her what was going on. She says, I'm going to put this through right now and make sure that it all goes through. And within a couple hours of doing both, it was like, okay, we're good. Okay, you got your job. She's like, I was going to give your job to this other girl, but she was totally understanding due to the circumstances, which was super cool. And one thing that is like amazing to me is how supportive everyone around me has been, like including my work and stuff, and like how accommodating everyone has been, and like everything that I was worrying about like quickly resolved itself. And I think, things happen when you need them, and it was like I was at a point where I was just so sick and weak that I didn't have the energy to do much. So the universe kind of stepped in and started doing things for me. Over time, we obviously went through the thoughts in our head. Do we keep this pregnancy? What do we want to do? But there never really was, there was never really another way of thinking other than the fact that this happened for a reason. And she was meant to be in our lives. So it didn't make sense. I don't know how this fits into my life, but it does, and we'll figure it out. And I'm a very structured person, even though I like to have adventures and stuff like that. I'm a very structured person, and I have to know why, and I have to know what we're gonna do to get there. But I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna go along for the ride and figure it out. This is supposed to happen, and we're gonna figure out why as we go. And we have. As time went on, and eventually I did start feeling better, literally 2-3 weeks ago. I still have been getting sick, but I feel human and alive and not dizzy. And as time went on, we started to get really excited about our new addition. We still don't know what we're doing or where we're going, but we know we're not staying here in freezing cold Michigan for the rest of our lives or even the next 5 years, but we are staying here right now. We have the support of our family. I have a good job that I like. CJ's in the process of switching from his 9-to-5 job to working online, and he gets to be creative, and he has the time to do that because we're here. So I think as much as I plan to this life that I wanted to have, I think that where we're at right now is exactly where we're supposed to be. And we are going to figure it out as we go. And now we're just going to have this extra little person who's going to come along with us. She is a girl. We named her Sol Regina. Sol is the Spanish word for son, and Regina is my mom's middle name. And when I was a little kid, I used to think Regina was my middle name because my dad and my brother had the same middle name. So I thought that would be fun to have her have my mom's middle name. Bella's excited. She's going to be a big little sister. And hopefully, you know, we can be around for the both of them a little bit more. So from there on out, I'm not really sure what's going on. We are going to play it by ear and probably stay here in Michigan for the next year and kind of go from there. Our goal is to either, you know, go down south for a little while and continue that plan, or maybe if we can do enough stuff online to make enough money, maybe not live in this country. I would like my daughter to be bilingual. I would like her to see the world. And so now basically all of our hopes and dreams are just going to be shared with one more person, which at the end of the day sounds pretty cool. So I think that's the end of the story. I'm going to do more. We're going to go on our first camping trip pregnant, maybe. If it's not snowing, we're going up north to my uncle's house and bringing our camper, and we'll go camping. We'll probably do a little video with that. If the weather's too bad, we'll probably just stay there. But yeah, that's our story so far. We'll do an update later on, and then probably after she's born, another update as things go. But if you're, you know, somebody who is my age or around my age, and you think you can't handle, you know, getting pregnant, or should you get pregnant, like, it's fine. Like, as long as you take care of yourself. Like, I feel like I am at a point now, emotionally, more balanced than I have ever been in my whole entire life. So had I had a kid at 26 or 27, I'm sure I would have been a good parent. I probably would have had a lot more energy, but like emotionally and where I'm at as a person, and my ability to create boundaries, my ability to love myself no matter what, was not there at that age. And so, like, as being a parent, I think I want to be that person that I would want her to be. And I feel like I am at that point right now. So I feel like that's also a good thing. But this video has been very long. I will give CJ a chance. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Not right now.
Maybe we'll do another little video where we can have CJ's chime in too then. But he's been super, super supportive. I don't know how I could have done all this without him. He's been making me breakfast, giving me back rubs, taking care of me. I definitely would not have wanted to do it alone or with any other person. And Bella's been great too. She's been sitting there by my side. So I'm just very, very grateful for all the support that I have. And that's it. Thank you.